for it to turn on. Okay. I'm gonna leave the chat open. This is a totally new setup, so I don't know if it's gonna work. Check, check, 1, 2, check. 1, 2, 3. That's a little far away. Check, 1, 2, check. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing today. I'm mostly testing my streaming stuff. Got a bunch of cameras set up on the new workbench, so we're gonna see how this works. I've got my mic going. I got a couple of shipments in from. I got one from Keyhive with some Corne PCBs in it, and then I got another one from MK Ultra with a bunch of chocks in it, which I have actually never used before, so we're gonna see how that goes. And then these nice caps that they sell there, nice kind of chunky, nice textured chalk keycaps, some black ones and some white ones, so we'll see how that works. I think I'm gonna build, actually, I'm gonna try using the reds. I don't usually do any linear anything, but I'm gonna see how that feels on the old fingies. So we've got some chalk reds, Kailh Choc reds. I'm gonna scoop these out of the way for now, though. I built a couple of Corne keyboards the other day, and these were my first ones. So I think the standoffs that I have made it, even though this is supposed to be high profile case, like the edge is supposed to come up real high, I think it looks nice still, but because the standoffs I had are so tall, it came out kind of sticking out a little bit more than I think it's supposed to. But anyway, I don't know. Still came out looking pretty good. This is like the marble PLA, which has these nice little like speckly, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm not sure. There's a big lag there. Let me see. If it's ever in focus, probably never in focus. That's gotta be further away. Anyway, so this is a marble PLA. I've got the little magnetic USB connectors in there because the Pro Micros, if you breathe on it wrong, the micro USB port will just rip right off of it. There's some of them who I've just plugged it in one time and it ripped right off. So you definitely don't want to be plugging and unplugging your USB cable into that thing over and over again. So the little magnetic guy definitely helps with that, especially if you're like fucking around with it constantly and you're always like changing your key map, so you're gonna have to put it in and out, in and out, in and out. So it helps with that. So this case is nice. This is one that was designed. I gotta look. I can't remember. Anyway, it was designed by somebody on Thingiverse who released it graciously for free. I just designed these. I I got kind of annoyed that people sell on their websites, they sell nice little acrylic laser cut pieces that go over the top of your OLED screens, and it looks great, but if you don't have a laser or you don't feel like buying pieces of plastic, you're kind of stuck, because you can't, even with transparent 3D printing stuff, you can't really see through it. Not really. So at least it wouldn't be a good view of like the screen here. So I just designed a little piece with some, rounded edges and a hole in the middle that you can just print it out the same material that you print his case in, and then just stick it on like this, and then it's still protecting most of the screen, but you're still able to see it. So just a little like cheaper alternative. I'm gonna put that out on Thingiverse probably maybe later today or tomorrow, something like that. I just wanted to make sure it worked first, but yeah, I think it's positioned just fine there. So this one, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna leave this one alone. This is just to kind of show what I already put together. This has the Rama, Grid Set A, I think, caps on it, which are nice and shiny. It's a little hard to differentiate because there's not a clear ridge between them. It's a little hard to differentiate like what key you're on, but if you type on it for a little while, it gets pretty easy. So yeah, so today I've got some more PCBs. I'm gonna try building one with chocks on it, and then I'm also gonna try using different sockets than I've used before for the Pro Micros. The sockets I used before are these, I don't even know what, it's like, like a controller socket. I don't know if you can see that at all. It's like a little controller socket that's the specific size of the Pro Micro. It goes in, but these, I don't think you could get too many plugins out of these before it just started to fall apart, because it's just not, they're very cheap, they're not really made very well, the metal's very thin. So that's what I have on these, and it works okay. I'm not going to be plugging these in and out over and over again, but I wanted to see if we could do it with something a little better that we wouldn't have to worry about fucking up so quickly. So I'm gonna put this away. So I've got these. I got these on Amazon. These are I guess like they're called like Milmax sockets. I don't know if that's like a brand name or something. I don't know. Anyway, I think these are milled instead of just being like a little extruded like hunk of steel, like the normal pins, like what comes with, maybe I don't know, can I show it on here? When you get the Pro Micros or whatever little controller you've got, usually, am I in it? There we go. You need to put the pins on it. You need to solder the pins in. The ones that come with these usually though are just, I guess they're the ones that fit with the DuPont connectors, and they're not round, they're actually square, and I don't know if that's because they're just stamped or like extruded that way. I don't know how they make them, but these are incompatible with these milled versions, which I found out the hard way. But like these work fine for most things, and if you're sticking it into a breadboard or whatever, you're doing Arduino stuff, these are fine. But to keep it maybe a little bit lower profile, and I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but I got some of these milled round pins, which seem to like very nicely just kind of snap in and out. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure. I think at the very least it's like a nicer quality item that will last longer. So if nothing else, it'll be that. So we'll have to cut these down to the right length to be able to solder them in. And I'm thinking one of the first things I think you want to do when you're putting these together, let's look at the rest of this stuff that we've got here first. Get these out of the way. Too many bags. Too many bags. Okay. These are all the... This is nice. The stuff that comes from Keyhive, they put in all of these pieces that you need, which are, you know, it's annoying to have to order like 6 little TRRS jacks or like these little tactile switches, which are in a weird form factor that's kind of long, but that's what the PCB is built for. So it's nice that they come with that for a very reasonable price, I think. I've got, what do we get? We got 2 sets of white ones, 2 sets of blue ones, and these are the boards. It's, oh, that's not the right, I think might have got sent one wrong set, because these were all supposed to be the Corne Classic PCBs, and the reason for that is that they are all through-hole soldering. So I will have to check if I ordered the wrong thing or if I was sent the wrong thing. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we won't be doing this one today, the blue one, which that's a bummer. But I'm gonna scoot these off to the side and figure that out later. Anyway, these white ones, these are what we wanted. I'm not I don't know how easy it is to get used to it, or if you just need like really tiny hands or hands that don't jiggle around everywhere. But I have a very hard time soldering the SMD components onto the board. It's just very difficult, and I haven't really gotten that down yet. So what we're gonna do, and the reason I ordered this kind is, instead of having surface mount components, you can still use the surface mount stuff on this Corne Classic PCB, but it also has holes, so you can just solder your regular old what is it, 1N4148 diodes on there, like you would use in just like a, you know, regular hand wired build, which I have just baskets and baskets of those. So it's a lot easier. To me, it's a lot faster. So we're gonna do that. I think what you want to do with the here, I'm gonna flip my iron on here. Make sure we don't lose any of these little thingies. And let's see. So I think I'm gonna pull up, there's a page on the actual, I think the original designer of this is named Fustan. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but we'll go on the GitHub for the original design, and there was some information here. I'm gonna go Corne Classic, documentation, English build guide. Thank you for the English build guide, that is very appreciated. And then, okay, so they have the Okay, soldering the diodes first. Then, if you're doing LEDs, you would do the LEDs next. Then, the jumpers for the OLEDs, and then they show a very specific type of sockets there. Oh no, they're just using the regular ones. Okay, but that would not be removable. And if you've ever tried to desolder a Pro Micro or anything like that from a board, you know what a absolute fucking nightmare that is. So we don't want to be stuck doing that. So that's good. They kind of show that. All right, so we can start. You know what? I'm gonna start by soldering these little. Let's see. Let me get back to the screen here. I can look at myself. So you know, these little jumpers right here. These are. I wish I could make. I don't know how to make this full screen. The close up. Whatever. Anyway, can you see? No, there's no seeing anything. That's fine. Anyway, maybe you can see it on this this screen right here. So these four little things where it says OLED, we're just going to bridge each of those with solder. And I'm going to double check because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but I'm pretty sure that it basically you want to solder those jumpers only on the side of the board that will be the top. So I'm just going to make sure that that is true and not a lie. To use OLED modules, short circuit the jumper patterns. Only short circuit the front side. And you can tell by my obsession with that I definitely did it wrong the first time. Let's see. Okay. So we'll do that. And I'm just going to do that first so I don't forget, because I will definitely forget to do that. And then once you have the microcontroller and everything stacked up there, it's not fun to take it all off just to solder those on. So I think we got the iron going. Gotta get some kind of fan on. Okay, that ought to do it. We'll get our little PCB holder thing here. Ooh, it's cold in here, man. Did not need that fan going. Let's see. It's very fiddly. Circuit bondage here. Is that actually gonna be able to see that? Maybe I should I'm gonna make a view where you can actually see the camera by itself. Let's see. I'm gonna make a copy of that. Just listen to me clicking while I run OBS. Microscope. Exciting to watch live. Okay, how about that? That works. That works. Okay. Got the iron heated up. Boil some of this juice onto it. Alright. Let's get some solder going here. Let me just break this off. Whew. Okay. All right. So we just want to bridge these. I don't have like the fanciest solder bridging technique in the world. So just see what works here. I'll try not to get my damn hair in it. Okay, that works. Ooh, it's a little melty. Just trim that off. As long as they're bridged, that's all that matters. Okay. Not the prettiest, but no big deal. Get our best friend flush cutter. And then we'll just wipe that little bit of melted solder mask there. Yeah, those are all good. Those are connected. Okay, so let's do the other one. That's easier to see. Okay. Where's the solder? It flew away. Okay. Okay. Hey, that went quicker. Okay. Good deal. Yeah. Okay, good. So then we just need to make sure now that this side with the soldered jumpers is the side that's going to be facing up when we're finished. And then same with this one. This side needs to be the one that's facing up. Okay? So, I think it wants us to do diodes next, but I think I'm going to do the sockets. I'm going to double check which part is the right part. I think when you solder the microcontroller stuff, you're going to use the row backside up. No, a set of holes that has a white frame on the front side of the PCB. Yes, okay. So, if you can see there, you see how there's two columns, like there's this one, and then this one. So those are the pairs. Whichever side, whichever columns are the ones that have this box drawn around them on the PCB, that's the set that you're gonna go into from the top. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take a look and see, what do we want to do? I still am not even 100% sure what orientation these are supposed to go in, but I think okay, so this is the male pin, and I think this long part is the part that goes into the female pin. So these female pins are going to go into the board, and then the male pins are going to go into the female pins, and then the tops of the male pins are what's going to get actually soldered onto the Pro Micro. So we can start. Okay, so let's cut these down to the right length first. And let's see. How many? Okay, so right there. So that's the right. Oh, nope. Of course, that was one too many. So we're going to take one off. And you can see how the way that this broke off, like the plastic around it snapped around it. We're going to be a little more careful cutting the rest of these because I don't want to waste any of this stuff. They're not insanely expensive, but they're definitely not cheap. So, okay, there we go. So that's the right number. So we'll use that to cut our next one. It's fine as long as it's being held in the right spot, even though you can see the edge of it there, but that's okay. So let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good. I think we're gonna want the actual Pro Micro connected when we solder this, though, because you don't want to solder these on first and then find out one of them's a little off or one of them's bent out or in a little bit too much, because you don't want to be pushing this over and bending it and trying to redo it once it's already been soldered. So let's put these aside. Let's cut some matching pieces out of the male side. Okay, so we'll just pop these right on there. Yep, and then this one. Yep. Okay, and then we'll cut it to match. Flew away. Oh, goodbye. Okay, and then we'll cut this one to match. Okay, that was fine. I think I need to replace. Usually, before these get dull, one of the teeth snaps off, but this one was actually pretty durable, so I think it's starting to get a little bit dull. Okay, so we'll set these off to the side. Okay, so I guess, okay, so the silver ones are the female, so that's going to be the PCB side, and the gold ones are the male ones, so those are going to go into the Pro Micro. I guess we might as well cut. Well, let's do one of them first and make sure. I was going to say let's cut them all, but might as well make sure we're not doing this in an insane way first. So I'm going to stick this. One of the best ways to line all this stuff up is to just use one of these breadboards, which if you're just doing keyboard stuff, you don't do any Arduino, whatever, electronic stuff. This is basically just a set of wires that's embedded in a piece of plastic with holes so that you can just, plug your little jumper wires or your sockets into and do your prototyping easily. So, but it's also a good way to just line up all the pins when you do your soldering, so they don't come out all goofy and jacked up. So I'm going to line those up, put this on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, just kind of wiggle, just kind of settle it in there. I almost did this, but what you're supposed to be doing with this is, here, let me bring this down just a little bit. We're not wasting this whole camera here. So if we soldered it like this, then it's crying time later, because when you put these Pro Micros onto the Corne keyboard, you need to have the bottom side up. So if we had soldered it like this, we'd be fucked. If we solder it like this, we're good to go. So also the OLED screen kind of sits on here, depending on how high your other jumpers are, kind of sits on top of here. So you don't want to have, anyway, even if it did work, you wouldn't want all this stuff on that side anyway. So we're going to flip it over and solder it the correct way. And then let me scoot this stuff out of the way. And maybe this is another zoom in time. Microscope. Maybe we can... Tiny, impossible to focus camera. Oh, there we go. Ah, wonderful. Okay. So let's see how we can do this. Okay. Get some solder here. Where did I keep throwing this piece of solder across the room? I don't know where it went. Okay. So this is, I don't know if this is, you know, like a lot of things. It's like, I don't know if this is just superstition, but I think when I started doing this, I may have killed a few of these Pro Micros, like maybe like fried the chip or something, by just leaving the soldering iron on these for way too long, fussing around with each of these. And I think it ended up heating the whole board up so much that something went wrong. So you really don't want to leave the iron on there for very long at all, basically as little as possible. So what I also do is kind of alternate. So maybe I'll do 2 over here, then go over here, do these 2, let those cool down, and then switch kind of back and forth, so you're not just going all the way down. I don't know if that's necessary, but I haven't fried any more of these with heat, so I would, I guess I'm going to keep on doing that. So let's see. Got some gunk on there. Okay. So you want to have a little bit on when you do this. Okay. So we did those 2. I'm going to flip this around. Do these 2. This is going good. That's going good. Yep. Nice and easy. That's how everything's backwards. Oh, okay. Okay, those 2. These 2. I also only touch it with the iron from the outside edge, because you're less likely to be heating something up or loosening something that's part of the board if the iron is over on this side. So it's, again, it's just like what's safer and what's not gonna waste us our little Pro Micros. If you're using the clones, obviously it's not like they're super expensive or anything, but it's dumb to like waste them, so definitely want to avoid that. Okay, this is going good. Also, if you get an ugly, weird-looking... These actually came out really good, but if you get an ugly, weird-looking one, as long as it's soldered, don't, like, redo it over and over and over again trying to get it to look nice like the other ones. As long as it's connected, the pin is connected to the board, it doesn't matter. It's not like you're going to be, like... you're not going backpacking with this damn thing, so don't worry about that. So that came out quite nicely, and that one's all done. And when you feel the PCB, it doesn't feel hot at all. It feels pretty cool, just like a tiny bit warm, but that's normal. So I think we're in good shape there. So let's solder this bad boy onto solder this guy onto the board and see how that goes, because we can take it back off because we're using these removable sockets. So we're so smart. Okay, so again, I'm checking that this side has the jumpers soldered, because that again is the top, and then I'm going to use, like we said, the set of holes with the rectangle drawn around them, which is on this side, the right side. Okay, so that's not really lower than the other one came out. That's a lot of room. I'm not sure. There's probably another way to do this that makes it lower, but I'm fine. I'm fine with this. And actually, I have some standoffs. What are they called? Standoffs. That are that high for the screen or for the screen protector. So I'm cool with it. I think if we wanted to, though, we could get this a little lower, or maybe you could solder the pins, the male pins, right through the holes in the Pro Micro. But I'm not gonna fuck around with it anymore right now. This is okay. I'm gonna just set this like that. I'm gonna need something to even out the other side, so maybe you don't want it to be off, though. You don't want an angle on it. You want it to be just exactly the same height. Maybe like there. Yeah, there we go. That's good. That's even. So then we're gonna go. We don't have to worry as much about the heat on this one because it's going through these pins, which are gonna absorb most of it. So I'm just gonna go straight down the line this time. Gets real quiet when it's soldering time. Okay. Alright, that came out nice. Okay, so we'll do the other side. Let's see, I don't know, can I shoot? There we go. Okay. Oh yeah. Right. Does this do anything? This one really doesn't do much of anything at all. Okay. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Came out good. Huh. It's like better than I've ever soldered a damn thing in my life. So, we've got this on. We're going to probably take this off for working on the rest of this just because it's going to be in the way. But since we did our nice removable socketing stuff, we can do that. So I'm just going to pop this, just pull evenly. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so we'll set this somewhere. Try to, be careful with these. They can get destroyed by static electricity, so we're gonna put this back in its little static safe bag, and it came in, and then just set that off to the side. Okay, so let's do the other one. Actually, you know what? You know what you should be doing is flashing these with the firmware you want. Even though the keyboard isn't done at all, flash these with the firmware you want, and then make sure that's the device they show up as, right? I can't go into all of that right now, but you know what? I'm going to grab my laptop and we're going to flash these, because it's pointless to solder all of this like fancy stuff onto here and get, oh, this one, oh, it's so nice, it fits into here so good, if it's dead or it won't, like there's no bootloader or there's some other kind of problem. So let's do the right thing. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a computer. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Let's see. Need a cable. Where is a cable? That's one. Come here. Yeah. Oops. No, don't stop the stream. Oops. Okay. Get this plugged in. Move this out of the way. I'm just gonna have a big flashing party. No, I never want to update my Windows ever for all time. Okay. Let's open QMK Toolbox. Okay. Okay, so this is a, if you needed to just get the default firmware, which is fine if you're a normal person, you can just go down this list, find the one you're looking for. This would be crkbd. I think it would be revision. I don't know why it only ever says revision 1. I don't know. This is impossible to fucking figure out. Anyway, I built my own based on the user Sound Monsters key map, because he has some cool stuff going on with the OLED screens where it shows like a little graphical icon of which modifier you're pressing, which is pretty sweet. But I made a bunch of changes to the actual key map, but it's an awesome place to start. So I'm just gonna open my thing. This is my hex file with my key map in it. I think this is the newest one. Okay, and then we're gonna hit auto flash over here. Auto flash. Which, when the computer detects that the microcontroller is ready to be programmed, it will just automatically do the thing, which I highly prefer that to just guessing. So I'm gonna what we're gonna need to do is short the jumpers, short these pins. The one, there's, I am sure that's impossible to see. Anyway, there's a pin called RST that's printed right on there. That's for reset, and all you need to do is connect that pin with the ground pin, GND, which is right next to it. So I usually just use some tweezers. What you're gonna do is plug this in, and sometimes the first time you plug it in, it'll just flash it. Who knows? But these are manufactured by God knows who, and sometimes they have a bootloader, sometimes they don't, sometimes they do, sometimes it's a weird one. Who knows? So I'm gonna plug it in and just see what happens first. Okay. So this one, I think I'm gonna have to reset it. What you need to do is not just short the reset and ground, you need to do it twice in a row. So I'm just gonna tap this twice, and here we go. It's party time. Writing flash. Done. Yippee. Yippity doo. Okay. So that means it flashed correctly. What I'll normally do is just check that we get some key presses out of it. And since the key matrix is usually using the pins down here, you can just kind of go oh, this probably has to be unplugged and plugged back in. I'm gonna try not to rip the connector off because it will rip off. So now it's plugged in. Oh, we don't want to auto flash anything, but it won't. So did we get anything? Did we get anything from that? Is this taking over? Let's see. Usually we'll get something out of that. I'm not getting anything at all. It flashed okay. If it doesn't flash okay, it doesn't show that message. So let's just try flashing it one more time. It says it's done it. It says I did it, and I did a good job. But I really try not to rip this fucking thing off. I don't think I bridged any of these by accident. No, that's fine. Plug this back in. The problem is I don't know you know, I can do this for the dactyl in the dark, but this one I'm not sure which pins we're actually using. Oh, there's some Z's. Something happened. Oh, it's using pins that are like on the same side. Usually just to make it easier, you'll put all the row pins on one side and all the column pins on another side, but I don't know. It did something. Nobody's ever gonna buy a keyboard from me again. There's some F's. Alright, I don't know. It's probably fine. I just don't know which fucking pins the Corne uses. On the dactyl Manuform, it's like all the, what is it, rows and then columns, which makes it a lot easier, but whatever. I'm sure it's okay. I'll put that off to the side, and we'll flash another one. Get rid of these normal people headers. Oh boy, they really couldn't even clean that up, could they? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go back to QMK Toolbox. I like to make sure that it really is opening the right hex file. Whoopity-doo. Okay, so we'll plug this in, and then, oh, we'll hit auto flash, but we'll have to reset this thing. Oh, see? No device. Oh, okay, I don't know. Okay, just gonna hit that twice. There we go. There we go. See all the flashing lights? Very exciting. Okay. So, just get this out of here. Close that. Who knows? I don't know. It's even more annoying to try to short these. Come on, give me a letter. Give me a letter. Yeah. Let's see. If we looked in the firmware, we could figure it out, but I don't feel like it. Oh, there's some B. Some B came out. Some C. Some D? Wow. Alright. Okay. A lot of letters in this one, so that's a good sign. Gonna unplug this. God. Horrifying. Alright. We'll put this one away. This one is flashed. Good to go. I won't bore you by flashing all these other ones. We'll just stick with that. Oh my god, whatever. Okay. Okay, so we're all flashed up. So we've got to do our... Let's do our sockets for this one. We've got a few left from this last one. Find another pair. Okay. Alright, so don't even have to try this on the board. Just going to... Let's keep this one safe over there. Okay. Cutters. Count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Oh, there's 4. Oh, so you really shouldn't break any of these because you could use the 4 that are left over for your OLED screens. But I busted one off on the other one, so... This is gonna go again on both sides. The Pro Micro is gonna be facing down towards the board, so we want the gold side coming up through there, gold side up, and then we'll pop this in here. Just push that in nice. Make sure it's not all googly, bent or anything. That's good. Okay, that looks nice. So we're gonna go, oh, let's turn the soldering iron off. What is that? Something. We're gonna warming up. I'm fucking freezing because I got this fan on so I don't get poisoned. Okay, this is hot. It's good. Just do this and rotate it around here. Let's do 2-2. Going good so far. Not getting too hot. It's good. Okay. I took it out of the video. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's on there. Nice. That's good. Okay, so we have the sockets already done on our right hand side, so now we're going to do the left hand side. We would also be able to tell by just seeing that we did the jumpers on this side, which would make it the top. So I'm going to unplug this. We'll stick it again. We're going to go to whatever is whatever columns are highlighted with this rectangle. Yeah, fits in perfect. Okay, that's what's nice about using this, is it ends up, you know, it's right on the grid. Good to go. So that came out good. Okay, so we'll do the same thing we did before. Just want to make sure this is very flat. Don't want it to be crooked at all. There we go. That should be all right. And now we can just go down the line. Oh. Okay. Also, still a question. Oh, Christina, who I'm sure stopped watching 100 years ago, says, don't they sell one with a homing bump? They don't. Well, not that particular one, I think. The way they did the homing on those MBK keycaps, I think, is that the ridges around the edge of the homing key are like sharper somehow. I haven't looked at them very closely yet, but that's how I think they made the differentiation. Esco1 Kleptomaniacs. Just watched your Dactyl build videos and saw your live. Are you not happy with it? Or why are you building another keyboard now? Well, I think it's more a question of like, when can you possibly stop building keyboards? I still use the Dactyl all the time. It's great. But I wanted to try some other stuff. I've got a big pile of keyboards that are all different ones that I've tried out. Usually, you know, if it's something that I know I'm never going to use again, I'll just sell it. So, you know, I enjoy building them. So it's, even if I just build it and sell it, it's fine with me. It's just, you know, a fun thing to do. But I like the Corne a lot, actually. I've been typing on it at work and kind of refined my little key map so it does what I need it to do, and I love it, actually. I thought this was kind of just like, ooh, it's a cool kid's keyboard for cool people. But I actually like it a lot, and there's something about the layout and the kind of simplicity of it. Like, there's no like keys in weird places. There's no, for some reason it's a good amount of keys where it makes it easy to learn a difficult layout. Like, and when I say that, I mean, like, obviously you've got no number row, and you're missing some like punctuation and stuff like that. But since you're basically using your base layer, which is your letters and wherever you want your modifiers, and then you have your like lower and raise, and with the lower, you get all your numbers, right? As well as, I think I've got arrow keys over here on the lower layer, which this isn't, if you touch type, it's not that hard to remember which number is which. It just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And then on your raised layer, you have what, like, if you were to press shift and then the number, so like 1 would be exclamation point, 2 would be at sign, pound sign, dollar sign, percent, little carroty thing, ampersand, asterisk, and then the parentheses. And then I think they put, and I'm talking about the raised layer, and then I think they put minus, plus, and then all these other ones are ones I haven't learned yet. But you can get around okay pretty quickly on it, which I found surprising, because a lot of times on like a staggered 40%, you're constantly just infuriated because there's obviously there's no keycaps that actually show the damn letters and stuff like that. What's up, pedophobic? Oh my god, we gotta get on a call and do a show, dude. We gotta get on a call. But anyway, yeah, I like these. If you, hey, I gotta show my man Pedo, check this shit out. This one I did with the like granite PLA. I designed these little covers to go over the OLED screens, and these little screens show you like which modifiers you're using and shit like that, which is dope. But yeah, I'm into it. So I built 2. So now I just need to build like 4 more, and then we'll see if that does it. But we're gonna try building these other ones with these little flat ski boys. Those are those Rama caps. These are like the little chalk switches. So basically, like, I I don't know if I'm showing this in any fucking way at all. But anyway, these are the little skinny, thinny boy flat switches. Basically, it's almost like little like laptop keys. So I've never used these before, but we're going to try it out and see what happens. So I got those in there. So that's a good deal. Good. Okay. So I guess we can go about, we can take these out so we're not fucking them up. And then we're going to go about putting in our diodes so we can complete the matrix. The way that these little legends on here work is the black end of the diode. I'll pull one of these out here and see if it's visible at all. Microscope. Huh? Okay. You see every little fiber. Delightful. So like on these little diodes, this is basically every keyboard, especially like your hand wired ones, you're going to use exactly this type of diode. The black end, basically it allows electricity to travel this way through it, and the black side tells you like where it's gonna stop the electricity from traveling back through it. So sorry, I moved everywhere, but so when you see the markings on here, you'll see like there's a little triangle which represents the direction you do want the electricity to go in. And then there's a line, which represents like there's the wall. It doesn't come back through, I think. This is just my like cargo cult interpretation of what these things mean. I don't know if that's actually what they mean. But also when you look at the circuit board, the square hole, you can see this one's actually like the pad for it is square, and this one is round. The square hole is the one that you're going to put the black end of the diode into. So I'm just going to go like that. You can put these on either side. Where are we? You can put these on either side of the PCB, depending on what switches you use. So like you could put them on the top, I think, but you probably want to make sure that it's not going to interfere with where your keycaps are going. So I'm just going to see. It's probably a lot safer to put them on the bottom, because then they're definitely not going to be a problem. But I'm just curious, because sometimes you want the bottom to be super flat, or just as flat as possible. So let's see. If we use these little guys. Oh, they go like this. Boop. I'm going to say that since I don't know how far down the keycap edge is going to travel, that's probably a bad idea to put these on the top. So I'm going to take this out, and we're going to stick the diodes in from the bottom, because that is safer. So since we got the jumpers soldered and we got these sockets here, this is the top. So when we flip this over, you can see the same markings. The inner part is if you were using the surface mount diodes, but we're not doing that because we're not masochists. So just want to, let me unbend this a little bit. Go in there. There we go. So pop that in there. Okay. So it's going the right way, and now just the diode itself is going to be on the bottom of the circuit board instead of the top. And then we don't have to worry about the keycaps like ramming into it or anything like that. It's just going to be nice out of the way. Usually when I'm putting these in, since you don't want to be like doing one thing then switching over, doing something else, doing like whatever, it's a pain in the ass. So what you want to do is, as you put these in, just put them in, and on the other side just bend the legs like sideways, because then when you're you're messing around with this, you're not going to have all your diodes like falling out before you go to solder them. And it would be a big pain to put one in, flip it over, solder it, put another one in, flip it over, blah, 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 blah. So we don't want to do that. So we'll go through and just populate these boards. This is a little bit on the tedious side, so I can't imagine what it would be like with the surface mount stuff. It'd be a million billion times worse. I know a lot of people don't have any like problems with it, but I'm not there yet. So we'll just keep going here. Put that in. Flatten those bad boys. And you can see they're not gonna fall out. We're just bending the legs off to the side, and then when we solder them, we'll just trim those legs off so they're not in the way. So we'll just keep going. I'll look at the chat again in case anybody got a question. Let's see. There's also, you could do this with a little diode bending jig if you wanted to, like, find one that's exactly the right width, or just take like a piece of something that is this width here, and bend the diode over that so the legs are going the right way. But it's basically just like bending it like that. It's just bending it kind of how it naturally wants to go anyway, so I don't really bother with that. So we'll just keep going. Boy, when I'm talking, it takes even longer. Talking. Do. Okay, just make sure you're putting these in the right way. Kind of double check yourself. Make sure the black side is on the side it's supposed to be, because if you get one of these wrong, it's gonna cause you some problems. I'm gonna turn this freezing cold fan off for now. Yeah, and then when it comes to the LEDs on here, I'm not doing that either, because it's real hard. And I believe the only kind of LEDs you can use on this are the surface mount ones. So I'm out on that. Also, I'm not, I love the OLED screens and stuff. Like, I think that's pretty dope, but I don't really care about the RGB gamer boy stuff. Okay, fold. And then these diodes are like crazy cheap. I think it's like, I don't know. It's like maybe if you're doing Amazon, I think it's like maybe $5 for like 100 of them. If you're on AliExpress, just like everything else, it will be basically they will pay you to take them. It'll just take you 400 years to receive them in the mail. Okay, there we go. You know, they might be a little wiggly jiggly before you solder them. It's not a big deal. If you're doing them on the bottom, which I think is how you're supposed to, it's not going to be in the way of anything, even if they are a little bit off to the side. It's not going to mess anything up. Thank goodness for that. Let's see. Is that anything? Oh yeah, maybe that's better. Maybe that's better. Okay. Best part about doing this on like a live stream is you just wait for people to look at it and then tell you like, hey, that one thing that takes you like a fucking hour to do, you can actually just do this instead. And you're like, oh boy. So hopefully these things I'm doing aren't too insane. Oh, I gotta print some cases off for these. I made a couple alterations to the one on Thingiverse. So I'm gonna export some STLs out of Fusion and try those modified versions. I think with the one that I've kind of changed around, it will basically mean you don't need standoffs for anything, which anytime you can save a couple of cents, I'm down for that. Okay. Okay. So that looks this looks like this now, but that is fine. We're gonna solder these and then snip them off. I guess to break up the monotony here, I'll do some soldering and then we'll go back to setting our diodes in the other half. Let's take a look. Let's scoot this over. Oh, now I remember why I had this set up all weird. These tend to get in the way of each other. I think like this. It's all good. Let's do that. Looks reasonable. Soldering, and then perhaps we will take a break after that and then come back later. This better. Looking at it with a lag. I should just be looking at it in OBS. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I'll try to stay out of the way so I'm not blocking everything off. This part's pretty easy. This part's not too painful usually. You're not really at risk of damaging much of anything at this stage either. Well, I guess I should put that fan back on. That's not doing much. Let's move this over. Let's see. Deadly smoke. Where will you go? Oh good, you're going into the fan. That's where I'd like you to go. Very good. You want to make sure you've got the solder connected to the leg of the diode and to the pad on the board. Otherwise, when you snip it, it'll fall out. And you don't want to solder the little legs together to the other legs while we're doing this weird technique. Okay. Ooh, those are all going to want to go together. Keep them separate. Ah, that's fine. Come on. At the end here, they start getting a little in the way. All done. good idea to just like look back over it real quick before you turn your iron off. Make sure you didn't miss one anywhere. I think we're good though. I think we're good, people. Okay. Is that lined up? Okay. And we can just go through and snip, 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 snip. You really don't need to leave much of anything there. You just don't want to cut off your, you know, solder connection. But anything beyond that, you're going to snip it all off. Make sure that's not touching that other one. There we go. And then the nice thing is all these little legs that are getting snipped off, you get to step on those for the rest of your life because they're all over the floor. I think these got slightly magnetized at some point. I don't remember if it was intentional or not, but that helps them stay on a little bit at least. So if you have a little like solder drippiness going on, you can trim that stuff off too at this point. Goofy stuff off. Get any little stragglers there. Okay. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Didn't take all that long. Take this out and we can see the other side. So now we can see the diodes are all put in correctly. We've got them for every key. The number should be the same as the number of keys, so that's good. We did it goodly. Yeah, that looks good. And we got them on the bottom, so they will not be in the way of any keycaps traveling up and down on here. Yeah, so I think when we come back, I'm going to take a break for a minute, and I think when we come back, we'll do the other side with the diodes. So exciting, something to look forward to. And then we'll put the switches on. And then we've got just a couple other things like the OLED screen connectors over here, the reset switch, and the TRRS, that's impossible to say, TRRS jack that's going to go over here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a little bit.